Yes, I am. Hello, my name is Jan. This is my Twitter handle right there up to the left. Come talk to me anytime during the conference. I'm trying to be friendly to everybody. So this is my talk. For the next 5 minutes, you have to listen to me for the first time. Problem statement. I was in a team that were using configuration management and failing badly. We couldn't do it. And there were a lot of reasons. I'm going to talk about them. First, the first year, we were okay. And we had fun. We built good things, we believed. We had automated testing. We did the baseline configuration plus a role pattern. And we did a good monitoring and had quick feedback from our development environment about the changes. But then into production, it was a failure. We couldn't rebuild our systems fast enough. Our environments were starting to leak across into each other, and our upgrades were high risk. We started to fear them, and we couldn't really do them. So we found out that our system was eventually repeatable, and that's not a good thing, because we found that we needed to test all our changes in production directly, because that was the only reality that worked. And of course, people were telling us, you are doing something wrong. And yes, they were right. We were doing something wrong, but it was really hard to find what that thing was because we believed we had everything in control. So we started researching, and somebody suggested that we should look at this thing. Well, it looks cool, but we weren't ready for that. But we could take some of the ideas and some of the tooling and some of the approaches that Docker has, and we could take that and apply that and try and find a solution. And the solution we found was to stop doing configuration management. So that sounds strange. What did we do instead? We started focusing on artifacts. And what is that? This is a pipeline that defines how we build our artifacts. And it's really, really simple, but it's also really, really powerful. So what are the inputs in that pipeline? That could be anything, and they are already managed and already versioned. And it could be repos, packages, images, containers. So it's not a secret that the pipeline you saw there, that's actually describing in an abstract way something we do with Packer. So Packer takes the input, does something to it, applies the changes. It could be running CM, it could be running anything that you'd like to do the change, and then it produces an output. So again, the output is versioned, and we keep them. Actually, for us, that's RPMs again. Somebody mentioned RPMs earlier. And we get metadata for free, and we actually put both repos, packages, images, and containers into RPMs and version that. So why are you spending time on that simple pipeline? It is because abstraction is key to doing changes in your environments and in your process. So everybody needs to know a little bit about the theory about why you're doing these changes. So these are some of the more of the definitions we made when we made a change. The most important change is, or definition is the last one. All our artifacts are testable, and also then you can move them through environments, and that's a really big difference. Also, we try to change our heads a little bit. We were thinking about what we were doing at work, what we were creating, and instead of doing configuration management, we were saying to each other, we are describing state to produce artifacts. Of course, we didn't throw out all the old code we had. We could reuse parts of it. We could reuse the concepts we had around how we define systems and how we define roles. And we could reuse a lot of the code that produced the artifacts. But there is difference when you make artifacts or images instead of producing stateful VMs. So you need to think about state, and you need to think about differently. Specifically, where do you want to keep your state? So when you do abstraction and you get it right, it's future-proofing. You can do changes, and it will be easier to adapt to them for the future. Go to Craig Dunn's talk about hierarchia. I think it's tomorrow. So did the approach work to change from stateful VMs to managing artifacts and controlling all those inputs in a simple pipeline. For us, it worked. These are some details about the technologies involved in doing that change. And if anybody's interested in more of the details, just come talk to me. Thank you.
Thanks.